Yeah, Colton, good to see you back, man. Praying for you and your family, man. I thought it was a good Tuesday practice, and guys are flying around, ready to go. Got a really good team coming in here. Probably the best team we've played, and really well coached, really good players, great schemes on really in all three phases, and you know, really glad we got them at home. So, question. Yeah, yeah, it's we love the competition. Glad we have them at home and get to compete against the best. That's what we've been preaching all week. Is it's the best team in the Sun Belt that we played so far, and so we got to make sure we bring it.
And coach, just looking at when you compare all these three games, looking at the film and just kind of like how they've kind of ended. I just what's the staff kind of doing to kind of, especially when JMU's coming into town, just
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way to kind of snap this spell and try to get back on the winning board.
Yeah, we're doing everything possible, self-scout, doing everything we need to do as coaches and players to put ourselves in a situation to win the football game, and we've been right there, like you said, really in all three games. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, a bunch of things, but at the end of the day, we didn't get it done. So you got to really take a deep dive to figure out what that is, and we have some good ideas what we need to do moving forward. But obviously with a team like JMU, it's going to take a near perfect game to go out there and beat these guys.
Yeah, what are some of the challenges kind of the JMU kind of presents to y'all, especially with them coming all the way from the beginning?
Yeah, really everything they do from a schematics standpoint puts stress on you. Really well coached. They have really good players. They can get after the quarterback. That the front seven is really talented. Quarterback. I don't, Probably national player of the week. I don't know if he was or not. Probably should have been national player of the week, and just a really good team.
Coach,
There you go.
running attack
Yeah.
against Marshall, didn't really get the opportunity to get going, and JMU has arguably the best
Yeah.
running defense in the Sun Belt. What do y'all need to do to like kind of get that going? Is that like an offensive line thing getting ready, or is that?
It's usually everybody thing. Not just O line, not just running backs, quarterbacks, receivers. Have to do their job, and coaches, same thing. We have to put these guys in good positions to be successful, and that's it's a unique scheme to go against. They're really good, and we knew that going in. They're really well coached. He's been running that defense for a really long time. He knows the answers. He knows the ins and outs of it. So we were able to expose them in some areas too that they probably haven't been exposed at. So we did some really good things, but at the same time, when you're playing on the road, you got to be able to run the football, and really anytime you got to be able to run the football, but especially against a defense like that, you got to be able to run the football. So we have to get better.
Now having a chance to look over the game film over Marshall, just I guess what was your biggest takeaway on why this team wasn't just able to get it done, and how do y'all just improve from that?
Yeah, I think when it just comes down to those end of game moments, and being able to execute when you need it, whether that's offense, defense, or special teams. I thought it was really good to see our kicker make it at the end of the game to get us into overtime. But when it comes down to it, offensively we have to make sure in those end of the game, last two drives of the game, we got to be able to put somebody away. Same thing on defense when it comes down to those end of the games, overtime. We got to get a stop. So that's something that we're working on at practice. We did some different things today to try to work on those situations, and ultimately we got to give them a chance as coaches to go win the game.
Speaking of that kick, Tyler, obviously he had a really rough those past two games against Arkansas State and Troy. What does that do for his confidence level, being able to go out there and kick especially a 50-yard field
Yeah.
goal in that game, kind of give y'all a chance, at least give y'all an ability to
Yeah,
chance something?
that was huge, and like I said, my faith hasn't wavered on him. He's a really good kicker, and he's got the right mindset, and I think that when it comes to kickers, that's usually like you said, miss a couple, your confidence, but he's not that kind of guy. He's got high confidence in himself, and so that was great to see him be able to make those field goals and give us opportunity.
On that final fourth quarter drive,
Yeah.
Brad's doing pretty well. He takes one sack,
Yeah.
which is fine, take the time out, but then he takes that second sack, that pushes y'all like pretty deep into the territory. a good learning experience for him, just in terms of like figuring out like what you need to do on the final drive in terms of clock management and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think, players, coaches alike, it's never just, like I said, on the quarterback. We have to do a good job as coaches as well. So, he's continuing to get better, and he's a young guy, but he's certainly not playing like it. But every once in a while, you'll have some mistakes. But we got to make sure we're putting him in those situations and continue to do things as coaches to help our guys win.
And then the Athletic recently released the report of Texas State's pitch to the Pac-12. Had like few key goals on weight height and commitment to football in terms of growth. I guess just what are your thoughts on those key goals and like what's that say about the university that they're being so ambitious in achieving something like that?
I haven't seen them all. I haven't seen the article, but obviously, whatever the goals are, those are the expectations to go out there and do. So we're continuing to work hard every day to accomplish those.
Coach, JMU hung 63 on Old Dominion last week, and so with the struggles that our team has had on defense, does that concern you at all? And then the fact that they have to come here versus your team having to go there, do you think that'll help you?
I hope so. Obviously, they're playing really well, and that's one of those statistics, points, and all that. It's usually in all three phases. It's special teams, it's defense giving the offense short fields, it's turnovers, it's offense scoring when you need to. So obviously they've been playing really well together and playing really well complementary football. So we got to make sure that we're doing that and we're ready to go and we're playing complementary football, because at times we've done that really well, but same thing. We got to get more turnovers and offense. When it's our time to score, we got to go score touchdowns.
What's going to be the key, especially though for this game's last game? Like, how key is complementary football going to be, especially when offense and defense, sometimes they have not been on the same page.
Yeah, it's going to be everything, and that's something that we preach. Really since fall camp, spring ball is playing that complementary football, and like I said, at times we've done some good things, but at the end of the day, it's about getting the job done, and so we got to go out there as players and coaches and get the job done.
Now, also, there's a lot of noise, especially like how these last three games, like, I guess, especially with social media, like how everyone can kind of look on their phone and see what everyone's saying. What's going to be the key to kind of continue to keep this team focused, especially when, y'all got to get those 3 more wins to get back to bowl eligibility?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just part of it, whether it's, me getting a job or people firing me, whatever that is. It's just you got to go every day and go to work and prepare your team. And same thing as players. We have to block out the noise and go out there and get the job done. And so try not to, look too much into any of that. And, that's what happens. That's what makes college football so great. And, you just look around, college football at the Sun Belt and how crazy it is each and every week, just like the game last night. We got done and got to see the fourth quarter of that game, and it's, a lot of these situations and scenarios are playing out every week, just like, it is for us. So we got to just get on the other side of that, and we're continuing to work hard and we've done some really good things, this year, and we got to continue to build off those and remember the team that we are. And it can't be about the outcome all the time. It's got to be about the process and figuring out those small details that it takes to win. I did not see the Broncos-Giants game. The NFL is hard for me to check sometimes.
I think, what was it? The Giants were like 28-6, and the Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But anyways, my question actually was, Ryan Nolan, this is the last
Yep.
game, to Henry, and Davis Minot stepped in immediately as like one of the best games of the season.
Yeah.
What makes him special as a player? What's, I guess, his superpower as a player?
We've tried to continue to make sure he's being more vocal, and I think a lot of that times when you're a new guy coming in with some good players in that room, he's a guy that just goes to work, and he's a really, really good player. He really is. He's strong, he's fast, he's smart, super smart, he just does exactly what he's coached to do on every play. And usually those guys are the guys that go out there and perform well on game day. So we're continuing to find, and look for more guys like him.
Yeah, with this game being on ESPN too, obviously, San Marcos getting the spotlight. What does it mean to be playing those games where you're on national television, where all eyes are going to be on the university and on this football program?
Yeah, it's awesome, and our guys are fired up for it. I don't think, that's what I told the guys this morning. I don't think last year that Louisiana game that we came out and put our best performance on national television, and so we got to make sure we come out here this week and put in a good week of practice to give ourselves an opportunity, versus a really good team.
Yeah, learning from that Louisiana, especially with it being that Tuesday night game. What did you learn from that Tuesday night game to help you prepare for this one?
I think just the way we structured practice a little bit, what we did early in the week, what we're doing today, doing some different things. So make sure the guys are ready to go.
And I guess ultimately, going into this, what's going to be the key to kind of, with all those, with the 3 losses, what's going to be the key to kind of turn this thing around and kind of get back on the right path?
I think I said, kind of like I said earlier, I think it's just got to be, process driven, man. We really have to focus on ourselves and get better and understand that we have a really good team coming in, and just go about every day's practice, every meeting, every walkthrough that we have, making sure that we're handling our business to give us our best opportunity. So on Tuesday we can go out there and have an opportunity to win, because this is a really good team, but we have a bunch of really good teams down the stretch too. So really, every practice, every games, trying to go 1-0 and just trying to be process, driven.